La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra ya contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Ey. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí, baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido contigo. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Just give me one in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. So glad to be back. I've actually finished the project that was keeping me busy. So you're going to have me back more often, don't worry. I'll share that with you soon. Okay, you can hear me, fantastic. Yeah, I'll share that with you soon, what I've been working on. I think it'll be useful to, I have mostly women who listen to me, so I think it'll be very useful to you. But we'll talk about that in a few days. For today, something rather interesting happening in the royal space. It's like the tone has just changed the last 2 weeks. And there's a few reasons why this could have happened. But if I'm honest, I can't say I can, pinpoint an exact reason why. But there have been some articles about William and Kate that don't paint them too favorably. Especially in the Daily Mail, which is generally quite pro-royal. And then the backlash from the public has just been like, wow. In fact, one of the articles in the Daily Fail, there were thousands of comments from people who are typically quite pro-royal, and the Daily Fail readers are generally quite pro-royal, who are just like, we're not having this when it comes to William and Kate and their, new upgraded home that they're trying to call a downgrade. And we'll get into all of that today. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Hey, Cinderella. Hey, Maggie. Hey, Fancy Fancy. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Gwendolyn. Hey, Mina. All right. Let's start with something a little bit more lighthearted first. before we get into the nonsense. So, first things first. I did pick up from the With Love Megan season 2 trailer some of the crafts that we're going to be getting into, and I'm so excited about this. I think I've always been into arts and crafts, but I'm so much more into it now. Like, it's just fun, it's wholesome, especially when you're, hanging out with friends. I did try pottery for the first time when I was in Bali. That was really fun. Definitely want to get into that more when I have the time and money. Granted, it's a lot more expensive to do pottery in London than it is overseas. Soap making, I've never tried that before, but really want to do it. And I'm actually very excited about the soap making because I'd like to be able to learn how to do it safely. Because, I guess it depends on the ingredients that you use, but I think you do use lye and some other things. Gift wrapping for sure. And I can imagine that's something Megan is very good at because she's so good with her presentation. Jewelry making, love that. Haven't really done it since I was a teen. I used to have like an Etsy store. So excited to see what they're doing with the jewelry making. Flower arranging, more flower arranging for sure. I feel like I would flower arrange more if I had like a good space. But where I'm renting now, it's not even like I can have like a nice little bouquet on my desk, but yeah, it's I would like a nicer place, I think, before I did a little bit more flower arranging and gardening as well. I can't garden where I am right now. Painting and designing, of course. Love us some painting. So I'm excited to see the cooking, obviously, but I feel like I'm even more excited to see the arts and craft just because it's something that I absolutely love. Let me know in the comment section what you're looking forward to seeing. And the most hilarious thing about all of this is the way in which, despite the fact that With Love Megan season 2 was renewed, and we knew about that, renewed and already filmed, because that's how confident they were that they were going to renew it. As ever, the tabloid media hanging on to this anti-Harry and Meghan narrative, including The Guardian, actually. The Guardian has had some pretty nasty articles about them and have gone quite tabloidy. So this was posted 5 months ago. Kissing Netflix still goodbye. With Love Megan might be the Sussexes' last TV show. And then 1 week ago, Harry and Meghan signed a new multi-year film and TV deal with Netflix. They must be absolutely kicking themselves. Like, are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing. I think that season 2 is actually going to be even better than season 1. I can't wait to see everybody's inspired dishes. I actually did oh my gosh, I didn't even take any picture. How did I not take a picture? I actually did the one pot pasta today for the first time. Can confirm it is delicious. Typically I would obviously wash my pasta, but actually just leaving all the ingredients and not washing it and leaving the starch to be part of the sauce, actually rather delicious. I did some shrimp and spices just to give it a little bit more flavor, but absolutely brilliant. 100%, 10 out of 10 would recommend. So that's with Love Meghan. Very much looking forward to it and to see what else we have going on there. Right, on to the Welleses. Actually, before we go into the Welleses, let me read your comments. Elizabeth, you said it's about time the tabloids give William and Kate a wake-up call. Well, I think the real question here is, why is this happening? I have said for the longest time on this podcast, if you have been listening to me for a while, you've probably heard me say it once. When it becomes more profitable to throw the other royals under the bus than it is to protect them, the tabloids will turn. Now, that's one theory I have as to why this is happening. We'll get into the other theories in a sec. But I think the why of why this is happening is something that I would like to focus on. Paula, you got your wine just today. Congratulations. Oh, quite a few of you got your wine. Fantastic. Hope you enjoy it. Kevon Slims, you said, thank you for the super chat. The media already knew or are finally finding out that Willie and Kate are mediocre, common and mid. Well, the whole point of the media is to prop them up so that we don't actually find that out. I mean, the very first outing, royal appointment thingy-majig that they did after they got married was at some they went to see some boats or something, and Kate cracked open a champagne bottle and poured it over a boat. Like, that was literally the first thing that they did. Nothing of impact whatsoever. So they've been mid. The whole point of the press machine is to make it look like they're something special. Oh, Cinderella, you got your wine as well. Fantastic. Okay, everybody's getting their wine. Pour it up, pour it up. So, to my theories as to why the tabloids are coming down on William and Kate. Number one, I think they've finally realized, you know what? We haven't got access to Harry and Meghan. It's getting harder to pay our bills. And there's an article that Amanda Patel from the Daily Fail, where is it now? Amanda Patel from the Daily Fail, she wrote this. Amanda Patel, Prince William needs to man up. His new obsession suggests he has forgotten everything the late Queen stood for. This is why I fear for the future. So my second theory is that the reason they're writing these articles is to send a message to William and Kate. You need to give us more. Now, I don't know what that more is exactly. Because again, the whole point of the tabloids is to prop up the royals and to make you not question why it is that they don't actually contribute anything other than keeping a fairy tale and certain ideas alive. So it's kind of silly that the tabloids would be complaining, because the royals aren't doing anything differently now from what they have been doing all this time. The real problem is that they're not as popular as they used to be. Therefore, the tabloids cannot make as money as they used to be. And their cash cows, the biggest cash cows, Harry and Meghan, are gone. It's like they're expecting William and Kate to do some big 360 and to be able to pull off what Harry and Meghan can. But what Harry and Meghan pull off is, in part, well, a huge part of that is just because they're authentic and authentically them. They don't have to try to be anything. So I think the tabloids are expecting way too much. I don't know what it is that the tabloids are actually expecting William and Kate to do. The money train is coming to an end. I think that the tabloids just have to accept that. Because the only other thing that they can do regarding the other royals, if the tabloids want to make money, is start going down the scandal route. William and Kate showing up smiling and waving here and there It's not bringing in the clicks. It's not bringing in the views. It's not bringing the attention that they would want to make the money that they want. Now, the other theory that I have as to why the tabloids seem to be leaning a little bit anti-William and Kate is, particularly the Daily Mail, there is someone in the royal household who works with Camilla and Charles who works for the Daily Mail. So that could be another reason. I think the two houses are at war with each other. And we have seen William and Kate, when they're out in public, just looking the most unhappy I think I have seen them ever throughout their entire marriage. So I think there are other things going on in the background that we're not 100% privy to. Yes, of course, there have been talks of potential royal divorce, but I think it's a lot more than that. I think they're also just feeling the pressure of having to compete with the level of attention that Harry and Meghan receive. But this article that Amanda Patel wrote, the comments were scathing. Oopsie daisy. Somebody wrote on Twitter, inept Willie seems to forget that the only thing standing between the monarchy and alienation is the UK media. Did he offend the Daily Mail in some way? Because they're gunning for him. Unlike Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex, Willie is taxpayer funded. He is beholden to the media. Indeed. It's rather interesting. You give me your theories. And just the fact that this has all kind of happened in the same week. Even GB News, there was a guy on GB News who was proper going after Kate. Even the other presenters on the panel were surprised. It was like, mate, you're paid to defend these people. Be quiet. The way in which the Times is trying to frame this, I guess the Times is still very pro William and Kate. Kate is downsizing and living life on her own terms now. Downsizing, and it's literally a giant Edwardian mansion. It's also interesting that they frame this as Kate is downsizing. There are some people who believe that this move is basically allegedly for the lawyers listening, part of a quiet settlement, a way of them being able to live in peace but live separated. Some people feel that. I don't know what the layout of this royal household that they're moving into, Royal Lodge, is and the surrounding areas. But it will be interesting if I'll look into this, but I'm wondering if this particular place was chosen just because it's a little bit more outside of public view. I don't know. I have to look into this. So people can't really see what's going on over there. It wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing the Middletons over there more often. Anywho, in all of this, it's also now come out that two families have had to move because William and Kate want yet another plush home. So let's have a read of this. You know, William and Kate present this picture of unity, but all of this castle buying, to me, just points to bigger issues. Anyway, let me just find this article. Oh, by the way, while I'm just searching for this article, I forgot to put it on a slide, but Harry and Meghan's Archwell Foundation did get their trademark in the US, which is great, especially in light of what's been happening with Centre Barley. Protect Archwell at all costs. Nobody from the UK should be hired to work at that organization, and nobody with a royal appointment. Okay, so let's read this article. William and Kate move into Forest Lodge, an 8-bedroom mansion in Windsor, This has ignited fresh controversy. Reports confirm that 2 families were forced to live nearby cottages to accommodate the royal household. The news broke after Hayes initially attempted to play down the timing, despite earlier claims that the family would move in by Christmas. Forest Lodge marks the 6th relocation for the Welleses, who have already lived in Ainsley Farmhouse, Nottingham Cottage, Kensington Palace Apartment 1A, Amner Hall, and Adelaide Cottage. Critics argue that the constant reshuffling highlights privilege at a time when housing pressure weighs heavily on ordinary families. Indeed, it is horrendous trying to get on the housing market right now. And then just overall cost of living. Whoops, give me a sec, folks. The article has decided to... article froze for a second. Okay, so public backlash over new move collides with William's homelessness campaign. Reactions have been sharp and heavily sarcastic, with many mocking the contradiction between William's homelessness campaign and the forced relocations of families to secure Forest Lodge. Critics argue that Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex taken similar steps, or if they had taken similar steps, the tabloids would have unleashed a torrent of outrage. Others highlighted the absurdity of requiring yet another residence while so many households across the UK struggle with housing security. Speculation also grew that the vacated cottages would likely be used for staff, despite public claims that the Welleses do not employ live-in help. The backlash comes only weeks after Prince William marked 2 years of his Homewards programme, launched in 2023 with more than 50 million in funding. The initiative promised to make homelessness rare, brief, and unrepeated through projects across 6 regions. Critics argue that William's homelessness campaign rings hollow when he already occupies multiple lavish residences, yet benefits from families required to leave their homes to secure another. This contradiction has fueled his reputation as the Prince of Hypocrisy, a label rooted in his past remarks, urging Africans to limit population growth while raising 3 children of his own. Now he champions ending homelessness while asking others to vacate their homes. Now, I don't know who the families that were asked to vacate their homes, who they are, but I can imagine they've probably been paid some hush money so that they don't speak. Granted, given the area, these are probably well-to-do people anyway, but nonetheless, very inconvenient to just be told to shuffle out of your family home so that these 2 twits can move in yet another luxury home. The thing about this is, a lot of the people who are royalists who are mostly ambivalent about the royals, or who say that they don't care, we have the royals, those of them that are getting mad, literally a huge part of having a royal family is so that you can say that you have this wealthy family and the glitz and the glamour and the castles and the palaces and the jewels. That's literally part of the point. You're meant to have this parasocial relationship with them, and through that you gain this sense of pride that we can afford to have this big fancy family and big fancy castles and big fancy parades. So it just kind of, it strikes me as strange that people are now complaining. The same people that would typically respect and like the royals are now complaining. What this actually says to me is that the royal propaganda machine up until now has been very, very effective. Because call William and Kate lazy if you want. There's no such thing as a working royal, and there never has been. Even people that like to put the Queen on a pedestal, or people like Princess Anne on a pedestal, I'm not sorry, I disagree. There is no such thing as a working royal. Showing up to events while getting to live a lavish lifestyle, you're not going to call that work. You're not going to call that work. I'm sorry, there is no such thing as a working royal. The propaganda was just good enough that you believed that they were doing something impactful. William and Kate are not doing anything different now. Yes, they are showing up to less events. But even if they were showing up to 2-3 events a week, what would they be doing other than smiling and waving for the cameras while dressed in designer clothes? I don't think these people even know what they're mad at. They're mad that, the magic of the fairy tale is gone. Anywho, let's get to your comments and then we'll get to the next thing. Lottie, maybe William and Kate are having another baby. I doubt that. Sincerely, I doubt that. I would be very surprised. Rhonda must have felt refreshing to write a truthful article. And it was a scathing one as well. She was scathing in that article. Black Queen, nobody's envious of some musty, cobweb, damp, moldy, ghost-infested 17th century crap. Yeah, they're going to have to spend so much money to renovate these palaces and estate homes. I mean, they're very beautiful, I think, but they're very, they're musty and dusty, so they'll have to be upgraded. Kim, you said the big deal is that the property is well outside the security perimeter of the Great Windsor Park. William says it will be his permanent residence as king. The men in grey suits can't be happy. Blacklight. Oh, hi, Blacklight. I feel like I haven't seen you for a while. In a couple of weeks, the British media will be calling for Harry to cover for William because he just isn't ready to rule over the UK. That would not surprise me one goddamn bit. Joseph, you said our faves are using up so much of the media oxygen that the so-called working royals are starting to turn blue. Yeah. It is getting rather interesting out here. Honestly, whenever Charles departs this earth, it is going to be absolute chaos and mayhem. Like, prepare. If you thought it was chaos and mayhem and nonsense and foolery and clownery when Betty passed away, I don't know what's going to happen when it's Charles's turn. Because William is out of control. William is out of control, and Camilla is desperate for control. Yeah, cookies and cream. You said it so perfectly. The mystique is gone, and it is never coming back. Lottie, and William is going to work from home so he and Kate can have lunch together like Harry and I doubt it. They have tried to push the work from home royals narrative, and it's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The work from castles and palaces royals, like what? They barely work when they step out the house. Yeah, Rhonda, the press is mad because they fumbled the bag. They never expected Harry and Meghan to leave, to not come back, and to stand on business and say, you will have no access. Cinderella, you said once Chuckles croaks, Camilla will be tossed out on her crown. I don't know, Cinderella. Camilla is the woman that stuck around for so long. She sat in the background at Diana and Charles' wedding, and stuck around for long enough for her to finally be the bride. She's been playing the game. I believe that Camilla has some grenades, some backup. I think will be very surprised. That's why I'm saying it's going to be chaos. I don't think Camilla's going down without a fight. Because yes, as far as we're aware, with the line of succession, William would be king. Kate, if she's still married to him, will she be consort or will she be queen? I don't actually know, but she will be his wife, period. Right? So Camilla would have to take a backseat to her. But when does Camilla ever want to take a backseat to anyone? So I feel like Camilla has been plotting for some time. And I don't think that she will go quietly into the background. She could, it would probably be the smarter thing, especially for the image of the monarchy. But I feel like it's never been enough for her because she knows that she will never get the love that Diana did. And I think that's like the hole that she continues to try to fill. The fact that she pushed to be called queen and the press even call her queen tells you that. So do I think she'll take her place that she should when William becomes king? No. I think she wants more. And I think that's why it's going to get nasty. As if it's not nasty enough already. Yes, Cinderella, and she's still hated. But that didn't stop her to push to be called queen. She's meant to be queen consort, not the queen. She actually somehow managed to get the whole of the mainstream media in the UK to call her Queen Camilla, when it was always said she was going to be queen consort. And just regular old Camilla. She managed to do that. So I think that she has other plans. And William's not going to like them. Yeah, Rhonda, Camilla is playing the long game. And remember, she knows where all of William's bones are buried. And if the Daily Fail can write scathing reviews about William and Kate, articles that they wouldn't even write about Camilla and Charles, that tells you something. Antoinette, you said, and didn't Chucky appoint Camilla some type of title where Willie Leaks can't remove her from the title or benefits? I don't know. I don't know about titles, but I believe that wasn't Camilla actually given her own home. It was one of the smaller cottages. So she has a home for sure. She'll get money for sure. Antoinette, and don't forget that half her family works in the media at Road to Raz. Yeah. The day after, or maybe not the day after, but not too long after Meghan won her case against the Daily Fail, that's Rothermere's title, Jonathan Rothermere's title, she was seen at an event cheek kissing Jonathan Rothermere. That's how much in bed Camilla is with the tabloids, especially the Daily Fail. Okay. Was there anything else I wanted to mention today? Nope. I think we'll end things there. It is going to 3 a.m. in the UK and I need to go to sleep. Choda Cece, you said, when you build a house on sand, you get what you pay for. Indeed. Indeed. And I think that's the perfect way to end this podcast. All right. Love you all, folks. Not going to play the music out. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your donations. You are absolutely... Oh, Kevon Sims, you posted another comment. Hang on a second. Oh, yeah, you said... Let me just read your comment before we go out. They just don't have the charisma and magnetism that Harry and Meghan do. People gravitate towards Harry and Meghan. Indeed. People gravitate towards Harry and Meghan. The other royals have to try to get people with all these PR stunts and nonsense to draw to them. And that's why Harry and Meghan will always win, and the royal family and the tabloids fumbled the bag and will always lose. And with that, love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Ciao.